So who's the next question? Lisa, is that yours?
So yes, our final question is, Chance seemed to be confused about the information he received about Malia. He was shocked she didn't mention the fight with Erica. Do you believe Malia is hiding secrets from people in her life? No, not people in her life. I mean, the important people were there at the dinner and witnessed the mayhem.
We got a little taste of it too. I got some action.
A little taste. And so she didn't mention it to him because why? Right. It's like she's coming home. She's trying to relax, put on her jazz music. She's chilling. She's trying to move past what just happened. I know me personally, like if I'm recounting something that happened or, something, I have a tendency to get hype. I'll be like, yeah. And then that nigga, boo, 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 boo. And then, I'm feeling all the emotions again. So, maybe she's just trying to move past that. It wasn't for Chad to know. If she wanted to know, told him. It was like, what would be the point? Like, oh, so tonight
you'll find out at some point.
Ass brawl. I busted somebody's titty. I mean, it was crazy. We were throwing chairs. It was a whole she got on the phone with him, and she was in her bed or whatever. Did she take a bath that night? Whatever it was, she was on sexy time. Okay, she heard his voice, and I mean, choked. It was like, oh, hold on, because it's time. It was grown up time. It wasn't time to be recounting the negative bull crap of the night. Because then she got to tell the whole story. Like, oh yeah, so let me tell you why. Because me, I always have to start at the beginning. Like, you need to know,
right? You have to. You got to give that backstory.
Right. You got to explain all the characters. And it's like, I don't even know who this Jaleesa bitch is, but I know Erica dirty and boo 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 boo. She ain't on that energy. If it was for Chan to know, she would have told him. So I don't think she's. It wasn't a secret. And I don't think she's hiding anything. Anybody that knows her and is close to her, they know about Chan. They, know there. I don't know. I can't think of a secret right now. Malia seems to be pretty much an open book. If he would have asked her about the fight, she would have been, oh yeah, well, how'd you hear about that? But then, she'll tell him, yeah, that happened. I don't think she's gonna lie about anything. So, if she wanted him, she didn't need to mention it. That wasn't the energy they were on. He gonna call her with the sexy voice. Yeah, while she's chilling and stuff, and she's like, hold on, okay.
Let me get this together.
Right, like they had other things to talk about, not important stuff. Yes, yeah. So, no, I don't believe she's hiding anything. Folk in her life that was important, they were already there. They witnessed it.
Those who need to know. What's your thoughts, Kitty? Yeah.
Well, I agree as far as her not mentioning the fight. It's not time for that. He's not even officially her man yet. So it's like, she doesn't want to give off this angry black woman vibe, and we out here throwing down in restaurants and stuff. That's just not a good look when you're entering into a relationship. Definitely. she wants to tell him, so she doesn't want to hide it, but it's just not information for right now.
Yeah.
But I do feel like she's hiding secrets from people in her life. She hasn't said anything about the junk her dad did. And whether her mom knows about it or not, or her sisters know about it, nobody's talking about it. So it's still essentially a secret, and then the whole move she did with Antonio, she didn't tell anybody about that. And it just came out the way it came out, There's a lot of things that I feel like for her, it's a form of self-preservation because she's trying to figure it out herself. And she doesn't need everybody's extra energy persuading her this way or that way when she's trying to figure out how she feels about it. So although she wants to talk about these things, she's trying to get a grasp on them herself first. So I think to a certain extent she is hiding things, but I don't think the intention is to hide them. She's just trying to figure it out. She's trying to get a grasp on, how she's going to approach these situations and deal with it in the best way possible. So
I fully agree. And I think that also goes back to like when the way we were, raised, you just didn't say a lot of stuff, I would always be told, like, I don't know. I think one time I went back and said something and I got some mess started. We was like little kids, like 9, 10 years old. And then my mom was like, so what'd you learn? You know? So what was the purpose of you saying that? Like, you know, and I'm like, well, so-and-so was saying that she didn't like her. And I was like, girl, she not your friend. And my mom was like, there's no purpose of you repeating things. There's no purpose of you saying stuff, you know? Alicia was mad at me. The other girl was mad. And I think I was being petty too, because then it all backfired and then they became friends and I was on the outside. Like, you know, little kids do stuff, you know, and I was like, okay, but we was over it within like 3 days or so. But, you know, you learn from an early age that words are powerful. And if you say things, it could escalate to something else. You know, you may not have wanted to do it. Maybe you was, maybe you wasn't, but you can't control what's going to happen now. You know, Malia hasn't spoken up about her dad. And go ahead, Kyrie.
Oh, no, I was just saying that's so true. We've been taught to stay quiet and keep on this mask and a pretty face and don't let anybody know that you're dying inside, you know, just to look good for your family's name, for the church's sake. Don't come in here with all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know I was telling, you know, Alicia and Kyrie, even, you know, my own family was always like, you just don't say anything, you know, no matter how bad things are, you don't say nothing. I said, that's one of the reasons why people have suffered, because people haven't been saying stuff. So guess what? I'm airing people out, baby, whatever you need. Like, say what you want to say. Karina got a version of it too. And it's going to be the correct version, because I'm going to tell what I did as well as what they did. See, some people, they want to just paint the picture like I was a little innocent angel. No, if I did something, I'll tell you what I did, you know, because I don't care who's going to do what. You ain't going to do nothing to me. So, and Alicia was saying like, huh, she on the phone with Chan, baby. She on the phone with Mr. Kong. She's not trying to get off into that, because like Alicia said, like, you start reliving stuff, baby. I get hyped. My neighbor, older man who lives like down the street, he had told me on Saturday, he was like, I was outside, you know, doing my yard, plucking up the weeds and doing the beauty bark and stuff like that. And he was just like, you be coming through here, you be mad. And I was like, me? I'm mad? And he was like, yeah, you be so mad. I just be watching you. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, one day you jumped out the car and you was cussing somebody out. And I was like, oh yeah, they need to be tuned up. Like, that's what he was like. He was like, he told me, he said, that's one angry sister.
Oh, calm. I mean, yeah, that was, you know.
Yeah, that's me. You know, baby, when we get on the phone, we start talking about what's happening. Oh, I'm in it, honey. I get lit. Alicia called me up last weekend. There was a whole situation. And I was explaining to T. It was like probably 11 o'clock, but my window was open. I was like, oh, I was just losing. I'm like, I'm on the east side. We don't play like that. I was losing it. T's like, Granny, you just get so upset. I do, because I don't like any disrespect. Like, if anybody does anything to my people, we got problems. You got to beef with me now. Now I want to know where you stay at, because I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you can try to tell somebody a story, and then you can get pulled back into the emotions of the story and lose yourself. She was trying to keep it calm and sexy and cute, like, what you gonna do today? You know, you don't need to see this whole East Side chick come out, and I'm ready to find you. Like, come on, let's go meet McKinley Park, baby. What you want? Like, Roosevelt.
Right. And Malia threw down. This wasn't like, you know, they just said a little few things and shoved each other. No, they threw down. So definitely, whatever hood she did have in her, it would have came out.
I mean, it's embarrassing. You know, you just meet somebody and you guys are picking up chairs and breaking bottles and on people, and like, you know, somebody got stabbed. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, it's supposed to be a graduation. That looks really ghetto now. Like, so y'all just get to,
especially since they're black.
You know,
they go be like, you can't take Negroes nowhere.
Without us tearing up the restaurant.
You know.
So. I did the restaurant have video footage that Chan's gonna
send later? You know they did. They had it on repeat.
Where Chan could get a coffee fight. Oh,
you know they did. You know they back there just watching
somebody to the restaurant after finding out about it. Like, okay, go get that footage.
Right.
You guys, I got a crazy story. My aunt got into a fist fight in the early 90s. There was this lady at her job who always would like antagonize her. And my aunt was just like, not all the way there. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's where I get it from. So this lady just kept trying it. And she said something to my aunt, and it was all caught on camera footage because my brother and my grandmother ended up having to go to the police station in SeaTac because she got arrested in SeaTac, right, for beating this lady up. But after the police watched the video, they were like, okay, the other lady was the aggressor. Now my aunt threw hands first, but the lady was like doing stuff like grabbing her hair up and pushing my aunt. And so my aunt was like, you put your hands on me again and I'm going to take you downtown. Like, you're going to be on the floor. And so the lady was just like, you think you're tough because you're black? And she pushed my aunt, and my aunt was like, but she punched her in the throat. So she came right. So my aunt on her, she's working her, baby. She's giving her all of God's blessings, right? So at one point, she was like trying to get up. My aunt put her knee on the lady's neck, baby, and she held her down. And so my brother was saying that while the detective was playing the video for my grandmother and him, he was laughing. He was like, man, Bunny just gave it to that lady. And I'm like, sometimes people just really push you to have to be something that you're not. And could you imagine if Chan was looking at that footage and Malia was acting like a whole animal? Like,
you know, whole dog, he would have been like, okay.
Like,
I mean, he didn't see no footage. Like, he just heard about it and was like, oh my God, do I want to be involved in this? If he would have seen tears flying and folk getting stabbed and all that other mess, people's dresses getting ripped, he'd have been like, okay, yep, maybe
extensions are all over the place, like heels.
Like, I don't know. Get somebody else to do it.
Like, maybe I'm not in love with you. Maybe you're not. I mean, at one point, Chan's like, I don't even know. Like, that was like one of the last sentences at the very end of this chapter. He's like, I don't know if this is gonna work. He was just like, I don't know about her. I thought she was
nerve, sir. You know he's done.
That makes you think he must have some stupidness for her. And when he found out she was fighting, he'd be like, she might put her hands on me.
Right. Right. Like, hold on. She could actually defend herself. This might be a problem. Because you know that nigga's done way worse. He did worse to her daddy. So, so shocking now. They're fighting? Okay, Mr. Triad.
She gangster. He like, she ain't gonna be over here putting her hands on me. She ain't gonna do it to me.
Like, if I get out of line, hold on. She can defend herself.
That's always like the misperception, even with when black women are attacked or we're forced to have to defend ourselves. Is always like, well, you guys are gonna go around and just beat up everybody? No, nobody's going around beating up people. If you need to fight because you have to defend yourself, you do that, of course. But ain't nobody just going around attacking people. So I had to tell my neighbor, the older man, I was like, no, I'm actually quite a nice person. I said, but I'm a mirror. I'm returning whatever it is that I'm seeing in you. So if you come to me with bad energy, baby, my energy it's going to shift to the left. You know what I'm saying? If you come to me and you're respectful and you're kind, I'm going to give to you that. And that's just that, you know? Mm-hmm. So I seen him yesterday. He was all honking his horn. He was like, hi. And I was like, hi. I'm like, see, I'm nice. I told you I was nice. Mm-hmm. You happened here one day when somebody was getting work because they needed that work, you know? So it's all about balance. You can't be too nice. You can't be too mean. Gotta have a nice little sugar and spice and everything bad and nice just wrapped up in one, you know? That's what it is. Any final questions before we close this out? What about you, Kyrie? Because I can't see you on my screen.
Yeah, your thing for... Oh, okay, you're back now.
Yeah, I have to switch the screen so I can look.
Nope.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for being here on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon now. Thank you. It's Halloween, so I hope you guys have some really good food. Alicia has inspired me to make my own nachos tonight. I haven't had those in a while.
Man. Praise God.
Hey, I'm making nachos too.
Oh, you making nachos? Okay, the power of 3. Okay.
We did it. It's just a good...
That.
You know, when you eat and when you sitting down, you know, you just want a little something. Yeah. I was like, I'm sick of chicken. We're going to do nachos.
We definitely do it.
I make everything from scratch. Well, I don't make the chips. I buy the chips. But
I buy the chips. We do like the little cheese sauce and all that. We're not doing that Velveeta, baby. We know how to do our own cheese sauce. Period. So I hope you guys have a really, really good night and enjoy yourself. All right, folks, that's all for this episode of Rose City, the After Show. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on episode 32, What Waits in the Aftermath. Don't forget to tune in next week. We will be diving into episode 33 A Table for Two. If you haven't already read it, like, what are you waiting for? You know you want this. Come on. The first three episodes are free on Kindle Vella. So there's no reason for you not to like get addicted, okay? Stories are being, published every month. So, well, not every month, every week they're being published. And so we got our podcast and they're being published quite often as well. So like, come through, come see what we got going on over here in Rose City, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Toodles.